born and bred in Nashville, but she walks the beaches down in Florida sand. A mother and wife, a daughter, a sister, trying hard to do the best she can. She found her voice with a heavy heart, looking for purpose with trembling hands. And giving this all a new start, moving ahead, speaking for ones who came. And she says, I am who I am, I'll stand my ground. Even when the nights get long and rough, you'll hear my sound. She'll be speaking for the ones unheard, 'cause she's got a caring heart that won't be turned. Her mama fought cancer while she was searching, stories that needed a gentle voice. We saw summer's name and felt the heart ache, and tried to bring light where there was no choice. And when she heard of Sebastian, her sadness rose. She prays for truth through the noise. She'll follow wherever the story goes, seeking their dignity, a child's joy.
Her smile shines as bright as the stars at night. Her heart is as kind as can be. She has the patience of a saint, but if you push her, oh Lordy. A straight talker is smiling. She's the salt of the earth. Make no mistake, she matters. Catch Miley's story on a live stream. Oh boy, that girl can matter. Go Smiley. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She'll smell out your fear. Missing posters and stories of heartache and fear. She tells us all of the heartbreaking tears. She can sniff out the guilty from a mile away. If Smiley's on the case, then she's here to stay. She cares about these missing children. She cares deeply about them all. She speaks the truth with integrity. For the truth, she will seek it all. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. Smiley's questions are like a heat-seeking missile. She's going straight for the bullseye. Don't ever believe you can fool her. She's too wise, man, she won't comply. She values freedom like the 4th of July. She values respect even more. If you want to earn a place at Smiley's table, watch the clock, it takes time for sure. She's Smiley, alright, she's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright, she's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. If you break her trust, you're done for. Trust don't grow back like grass, so don't give Smiley a reason to doubt you, or that friendship will shatter like glass. She's a damn good woman, that much we know. She puts in the hours to bring them kids home. If your child is missing, you want Smiley on the case. She is always willing and she gives so much grace. She's a Smiley, alright, she's a Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright, she's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. If you're guilty, you better feel fear.
Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hello, beautiful Janice. Good to see you. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Deborah. Yes, prayers for the family. This is so heartbreaking. So heartbreaking. Hello, Raymond. Good to see you. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Yes, may he rest in peace. May he rest in peace. Jessica, hello. Good to see you. Yes, Buck is a hero. Buck is an absolute hero. Absolutely. He didn't leave that child for 1 second. That is just amazing. Amazing. Breaks my heart too, Raymond. Breaks my heart too. So sad. Absolutely. Hello, hello. Welcome in on that bitch, Mama Bear. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, this is heartbreaking. Thank you for all the beautiful hearts and emojis. Thank you so much for that. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hello, Garrett. Hello. Good to see you, honey. Good to see you, Robin. Good to see everybody. Thank you for being here. Hello, wait. Hello, wait. Hello, hello, hello. All coming in. Thank you for being here. Please hit them thumbs up. Share this if you want. Thank you. Mama first. Hello, hello. What happened? They found little Jonathan today about 2 miles from his home. His lab was still there. His lab dog never left his side. Hello, 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 everybody coming in. Thank you for being here. Oh, thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. Yeah, this is so sad. Leslie, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. Yeah, I know it's so sad. Yes, please hit that like button. Deborah, hello, hello. Good to see you, Deborah. Thank you for being here. Leslie, keeping it real there. Thank you for being up in the house tonight. Thank you, thank you. Hello, everybody. We got Jessica. Rest easy. Absolutely, rest easy. And yes, pray for that mother. Pray for that mother and the family. Please pray for them. Yep, rest easy, rest easy. I'm trying to get through all your comments here. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Welcome in. I think your videos just distract from real cases. Well, then you don't have to be here. It's fine, honey. It's fine. And hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, welcome in. Hello, hello, hello. Gypsy, welcome in. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello, hello, honey. Welcome in. I appreciate you. Wait, what? Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for being here. This beautiful photo was made by Dan over on Facebook. This beautiful photo right here with the wings was made on Facebook. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm not sure who made that, but his dog is a real hero. I wanted to put that up. Let me see here. Let me see here. Where are we at? See, look at that beautiful face. Look at that beautiful face of that little boy. Rest in peace. Absolutely rest in peace. Rest in peace. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you so very, very much. Today is January 2nd, 2026. I almost forgot to say 2026. 2026. I had to get it together today, honey. I had to get all this together because it just was crazy. Before we begin, this stream is for news reporting, public awareness, and commentary. Any clips or anything like that played, images or anything that's referenced under this falls under fair use, and it is all 100% whoever made it and the owners. You know, it's yours. The credit is yours as well. So I wanted to say that, but he mattered. So I wanted to come on here and I wanted to talk about him. He definitely mattered. I had to get it together today. The body of that 4-year-old, which we now know is 4 years old. He was not 5. He was 4, come to find out, was found deceased. He was about 2 miles from his home. And his dog Buck, this black lab here, black lab was with him the entire time. And that does, he deserves a medal. He does. That dog did not leave him. I told y'all labs were very good. I told you that. He was found approximately 2 miles from his home and he was not alive. And that was so sad. He touched a lot of people and a lot of hearts across the country. His dog was found alive, sitting next to him, right beside him. The dog never left him, never abandoned him. Now that's loyalty, right? That's love. That is protection. That's all the things to the very end. I hope this dog, Buck is his name. I really hope he goes back home with Jonathan's mom. I don't know if she can handle that or not, but either way, I hope he gets a good home. I hope somebody treats him like royalty. I really do. Smart dog, good dog. They called Jonathan Johnjohn. They called him Johnjohn. He is so darn cute. There's so many pictures out there, and he's so cute. So it's very hard, y'all, to keep your platform respectful and credible, especially in cases involving children. But this is one of those moments where silence, on certain details is actually the strongest chance if something nefarious happened, and we don't know that, so I'm not accusing anyone, but I still have to ask and see. He's got his brother Jonathan's brother was only 6, and I have to wonder, even though people's going to say this has nothing to do with anything else, he had Jonathan and his brother 5 days a year. That was court ordered. But he had 6 kids. So I wonder if his other 4 children he was allowed to see because again, he had a total of 6 kids, and that's according to the law enforcement and official records. The child's father has been previously charged with methamphetamine, and we don't know if this is part of the cause or not. Hello, everyone coming in. Thank you for being here. He's been charged with manufacture of these devices. They found devices all in his yard and in his home. See, y'all, sadly, drugs always is usually a part of things like this. Intentions or not, it's not good to have kids around that. It's not. And that's part of the problem. Most of these are really, really sad cases, but I think this really is sad. Hello, Pamela. Hello, welcome in. Thank you for being here. At this time, there's no statement that I know of, unless it just happened in the last hour or so, from authorities connecting the charge of what his father's charged with directly to anything happening to Jonathan or anything that happened in his death. We don't know yet. So I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to accuse. We can think and use our own minds and our own heads. But we'll just stick with what's officially been confirmed by law enforcement. This child deserves dignity, not rumors. Not rumors, not trolls, not rumors. We don't even know what happened to little Jonathan until an autopsy is done or a cause and manner of death has been established. We just don't know. We don't know. Again, according to official law enforcement records, the child, his father previously had been charged with methamphetamine-related cases, and at this time, authorities have not stated that that charge is directly connected to little Johnjohn's death. They also have pictures that show where they were saying in one of the news things, his mom showed pictures of what shoes he had on. I feel so sorry for her. I wonder, did they find him in the same thing that he was reported missing in, the little yellow Mickey Mouse shirt and the black pants? The sheriff, I feel sorry for him. I do. So they said he loved the outdoors, and according to public court and jail records, the child's father has previously been charged with, again, the methamphetamine. He's been charged with the devices. That comes from official records. There's no confirmed public statement from law enforcement or officials that little Jonathan, John, I'll call him John, I like that, went to any pre-K or was enrolled in any daycare or anything like that. But the aunt, when she spoke, so many people loved him. So many people loved him. She corrected some things. He is 4 years old. He would have been 5 in April. So let's watch some of this. I got the videos now, so just bear with me and we'll bring them up.
Today for missing Jonathan Everett Boley out of Jasper, Alabama.
I think
Jonathan's
this is
aunt
the one
just
I'm
took to
talking
social
about,
media
that
to provide
I just
corrections
first.
about what is going around about Jonathan that is not accurate. The first thing she said is that he is actually 4 years old and that his birthday is in April. He'll be turning 5 then. She also said that contrary to the flyer that says that he has blue eyes, he actually has brown. We know that Jameson, Jonathan's father, only has 5 days of visitation with him per year. So is that causing him to not know intricate details about his own son. There are rumors that Jonathan's grandfather was the one to report him missing, not his father, so maybe that's where some of the misinformation came from. That hasn't been confirmed at this moment, though. Jonathan's aunt also said that everyone from Jonathan's mother's side has been cooperating with authorities fully. I'm wondering if that is implying that maybe people from Jonathan's father's side may not be. Now, we know that Jameson, Jonathan's father, was taken into custody after explosives were found inside his residence and on his property. Authorities did confirm that there were potential explosives in neighboring properties that were actually cleared by the FBI late last night. Those were not actually explosives. So last night, authorities were able to do a lot more searching as they were able to clear certain areas that they were not able to search prior. Now, there's a lot of people that have been side-eyeing Jameson, Jonathan's father. One, why did it take over an hour and a half from when he was last seen to get him reported missing? Like, what were you doing? Why were the children left unsupervised for that amount of time? There's also been people who know Jameson personally from the past and are talking about how he is not a great person. One person in particular said that he's always been into explosives for the past 5 years at least. She said that she saw him set them off before, and they are extremely loud to the point where they can shake a house. She also said that she's never heard a single good thing about Jameson and that she's praying for Jonathan to be found safe, but she has a terrible feeling in her gut because Jameson is his father and was the one that was watching him at the time that he went missing. Another person said that Jameson has 6 children altogether and he doesn't have custody of any of them. And there's also protective orders that have been placed against Jameson in the past that have recently come to light. There was one filed against him on October 13th, 2018, and another one on December 22nd, 2021. The most recent one filed against Jameson by Jonathan's mother. She said that Jameson put his hands around her throat, held her down, threw her into the kitchen, and choked her until she couldn't breathe while holding her arms down. She said, quote, "I'm worried he will do all the above again to me or our children or potentially kill one of us." So that's definitely a bit of a red flag, especially when authorities are saying that nothing that they've uncovered thus far indicates that Jonathan is in the wooded area by his dad's residence. I think we should all remain optimistic, though. Hopefully today's search efforts do bring about answers and they are able to find Jonathan today. As updates come out, you can find them here on my page, so make sure that you guys are following me.
And so that was Matt. Full credit goes to him. He always does such a good job. And so I like seeing him. He is on Facebook as well as TikTok, and he does a great job. That was a video I wanted to show you. That was earlier this morning, before we knew any of this and before they found little Jonathan. Sad. I mean, you could tell his aunt and them loved him so much, and his mom. I can't imagine how she is. Never can't. Never. I just can't understand it. I don't know these little children. So let's watch another one.
Good afternoon. I'm Sheriff Nick Smith with Walker County Sheriff's Department. I want to provide an update in our efforts to locate Jonathan. Jonathan was last seen midday, October 31st. Since that time, we've had an extensive search. Investigators and volunteers have, man, you guys have been awesome searching for Jonathan the last 2 days. I can't brag on volunteers enough and what you've done and what it means to me and what it means to the Sheriff's Department. With that being said, it's with great sadness that I'm here to announce that we have located Jonathan, and Jonathan is deceased. Buck is still with Jonathan. Buck is alive. He was found about 2 miles from the home. Like so many of you across our community, we're devastated, and we're devastated by this news. Jonathan was an adventurous boy, and he loved the outdoors. I ask you to be respectful to the family. You know, this is going to be a very hard time. It's going to be a very hard time for our community. It's going to be a very hard time for the volunteer team that did an outstanding job to find John. This is this is not the outcome that we wanted to see, and we were hopeful for a positive outcome. But again, I can't thank you enough for taking your time and showing this family the support that you've done. Means more to me, and I'm sure that it means a tremendous amount to the family. Again, like I said, just be respectful of the privacy of the family. You know, obviously I've got to make this update and let everybody know. As far as the media is concerned, I'm not going to take any questions at this time. We've got work that we got to continue to do. And once we get a little further into that work, I will do another update to update everybody where we're at. Okay. Thank you.
You know, I will have to say he did a tremendous, great job. I know he's heartbroken just as well, and I know he's tired as well. It's very sad for all of them, the rescuers, the searchers, anybody that was out there. You know, the police, the FBI, all the EMS, anybody that was out there and looking, investigators. That was hard. That was definitely hard for them. We'll be getting more out in a few days, I'm sure, no doubt. And, we'll be learning more. They do have to find the cause and manner of death. And, he could have just, like you said, he could have just been cold, got hypothermia. I don't know. There is some strange things here, but we don't know anything. We don't know anything yet. But I think, in my opinion, something is definitely wrong. But if it is, they'll find out. They will find out. Right at the beginning, new year, they don't stand a chance in their sick environments. And I'm thinking, it's right around New Year's, and all the time that's when they're really using the drugs and drinking and all that. And it's a hard situation. And to let these kids even be around and be in, that's really sad. The autopsy will know everything. We'll probably have a preliminary autopsy just in a couple of days, if that. But the original will take a little bit longer. I would not be surprised if, more charges don't come, but that's just me. That's just what I think. Hold on, let's watch something else.
WVTM 13 News starts now with breaking news.
It's with great sadness that I'm here to announce that we have located Jonathan, and Jonathan is deceased.
After more than 48 hours of being missing, the search for a young boy in Walker County has taken a tragic turn. Good afternoon. I'm Carla Wade.
And I'm Brittany Decker. Authorities believe Jonathan Boley wandered off on New Year's Eve. He was last seen around 11:30 that morning, right near Highway 195 in Jasper.
And they say that the 4-year-old was with his older brother and a dog. And just a couple of hours ago, the Walker County Sheriff said Boley was found dead, but his dog Buck is alive. We have team coverage this afternoon. There is a vigil planned tonight, and we have new details about the boy's father, who has now been charged with child endangerment and manufacturing a destructive device. device.
Let's get right out to WVTM 13's Lisa Crane, who is live in Walker County this evening. Lisa, just a really sad day for the community there. Of course, not the outcome that people were hoping for.
No, there was a lot of hope in this community that the searchers would find 4-year-old Johnjohn alive. And it was very upsetting and heartbreaking, as you can imagine, to all those who had volunteered in that search, that this little boy, that was not the outcome that we saw here today. Now, almost 200 volunteers showed up over the past 48 hours to search for little John Boley, as well as the FBI, SBI, and law enforcement, firefighters too, from across the state. They used a helicopter, ATV, and drones to scan this heavily wooded and rural area. Today, they expanded their search, saying because Johnjohn might have been following his dog Buck, he could have gotten much further away from home.
Johnjohn and Buck being together, and if he's following Buck, then there's no telling how far they could have traveled. Like I said, if you just look at stories across the state and the nation where children wander off, especially with the companion, canines, they wander off 2, 3 miles, 4 miles.
And we now know that Johnjohn's body was found about 2 miles away from his home. His dog Buck there alive and still by his side. Now we want to bring in WVTM 13's Zoe Blair with me now. And Zoe, I know you've been covering this story now for a couple of days, and there had been a prayer vigil planned at the church here, Cornerstone Church here, before we found the body, but they're still going to have that prayer vigil.
Absolutely, Lisa. Originally the vigil was supposed to be for them to pray that he was found in.
Yes, they did use
those. They're going to be praying for support for his family. They're also going to be taking up donations this evening just to help the family with anything they need during this time. It's obviously very heartbreaking for this community, very heartbreaking for this family. And this community has really come together over the past few days during this search. Like you said, I've been out here. There were well over 100 volunteers out here searching yesterday. I know there were a lot back out here this morning as well. They've been donating food, water types, things like that for the volunteers, all kinds of things to support this community. And I know they're coming together again tonight. Lots of different churches, several different churches from the area are going to be here praying for the family and just doing what they can to support them.
Yeah, we saw that. So many people coming together. As the sheriff said, he could have been more proud of this community coming together, kind of forgetting any differences they might have had, all hoping for a really positive outcome. And they did have the outcome that they had asked for, to find him. Unfortunately, not the way any of us wanted to have that happen. Zoe, thank you so much. Now, in the first few hours of the search yesterday, authorities reported possible explosive devices at Jamison Boley's home. Now, that slowed down the efforts in those first few hours around the home. For more on that part of the story, we want to go back to the studio now. WVTM 13's Michael Higdon on that breaking news desk now. And Michael, the father is now facing a few criminal charges. What can you tell us about that?
Jamison Kyle Boley is facing 3 charges against him in connection with officials finding explosives on his property during the search for his missing child. He is charged with unlawful manufacture of a destructive device or a bacteriological weapon. He's also facing 2 counts of chemical endangerment of a child, alleging he knowingly or recklessly caused or permitted a child to be exposed to a controlled substance identified in court documents as methamphetamine. The Walker County Sheriff said today, though, those charges were secondary to him and that Boley had been cooperating and providing details that helped in this search. We were also told by the Walker County Sheriff that Boley was a former military member. The Army confirming today.
I don't like that. I don't like it. Did you hear what they said? They said the father was cooperating and he gave information that helped end the search. Did y'all hear that? I don't like that. Maybe that's not what she meant, but that don't sound good. Not to me anyway.
Boley did serve in their branch from March of 2003 through November of 2006. They could not disclose any discharge information. Brittany.
Michael, thanks so much. Of course, we're going to continue to stay on top of this story as, again, authorities say the 4-year-old boy was found dead. We're going to give you the very latest information as soon as it becomes available to us. We have the press conferences, everything the Walker County Sheriff has said to right on our website now. You can listen to it on WVTM13.com.
So full credit WVTM, and if you go to WVTM.com, they have all the things over there. So that is something you can go do. They're probably going to be updating a lot. And show poodles. Yes, I'm so glad you come in. You have to always come in and show me that poodle. I love it. I love it, honey. Thank you. Happy New Year to you. I hope you're doing good. But until an autopsy's done, y'all, we won't know the cause and manner of death, and we just don't know. So the pictures show that they had, Mom showed the correct shoes. He had on Paw Patrol shoes. His mother described that when she got there. She literally had pictures of him. Thank God she had pictures of him, said the sheriff. And they said he loved the outdoors. According to the public court and jail records, though, the child's father has been previously charged with meth and related offenses. He had threatened also to unalive the mother before. And, he only had these kids that I know of 5 days a year, which is not a lot. But, I hope to God he did not do anything to his child. I really hope he didn't. It's going to be sad either way, because if he didn't, now he's screwed because of the drugs and the explosives and putting that before he did his children. And he's not going to be out to, be with family, friends, or mourn the funeral or his little boy or anything like that. He's going to be stuck in jail. But if he did, that's where he belongs, that's where he belongs. But there's nothing confirmed yet. And like I said, there's nothing confirmed that this baby, this sweet, beautiful child, that he was in a pre-K or anything like that. But they showed so much love. He looked very well taken care of. All the pictures his mom and everything had, he looked so well taken care of. They called him Johnjohn. I think, in my opinion, only there will probably come new charges. We can watch for that in the next few days. But if charges are related to this case or to them finding Johnjohn and they charge him with anything, court dates might not appear immediately, especially by this being a minor and the sensitivity of it. They may even steal the records early on, because I'm telling you here, they don't want to mess this case up here if it is anything nefarious. And I hope not. I can't. Look, we don't need one more person hurt because of their parents. That's just, that's just too much. But sometimes the court records are slow to come. Even they come after the arrest warrant or an indictment, maybe. And again, not to accuse anyone and not saying he did anything as far as his son, because everybody is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. And based on law and investigations, they have not come out and said anything yet. I did catch that little tidbit in the news just a minute ago where they said the father was cooperating and he helped in the search quicker. So that could just be with stuff in his house. I don't really know with those pipes or explosives, I guess you'd say, whatever. So I don't know. He's in a world of trouble. I know this. He's in a world of trouble. And it's not going to be easy to get out of. Now, this alone, just the devices under Alabama law. Well, first of all, it's unlawful to knowingly, and he did knowingly, possess, transport, or receive any devices like that or explosives. Now, with the intent to kill or injure, I don't know, but what did he think's going to happen? He could have injured himself. I don't think he cared. I just don't. But under the law, it's a violation and it's a Class A felony. And if a person is actually using, attempts to use any destructive device to kill, injure someone, or destroy property in the state of Alabama, it's a Class A felony, and it can carry at least 20 years in prison. At least. Explosives, devices like this, handmade bombs, grenades, any of that. And we got to remember, he was in the military. We don't know what he had. We don't know what he's capable of. We just don't know what. But anything destructive like that, it's not good. There's things that trigger also these penalties under the statute. It's unlawful for someone under, enticement, or, who's already been convicted of a felony or anything like that, to distribute explosives, or even if it's a hoax. Even if it's a hoax without intent, without proof of intent or proof of harm, it's not good, and it's a criminal offense, and they treat that very seriously over in Alabama. Now, the code itself under the law doesn't list specific ranges for all offensive, but Alabama takes it serious. It's a Class A felony. It's a very serious offense. Penalties include years, even decades over in prison. Not the jail, in prison, honey. Do you know how, let's see, Raymond said, Smiley, do you know who reported John? I've been told, I heard it was his grandfather. I don't even think that he reported him missing. I believe we're going to have to wait and see with the police. Now, that's not official, but I have heard that it was his grandfather was the one that reported him missing. So why is that? See, I have questions. For one thing, yes, accidents happen, mistakes happen. Tragedies happen. Something could have really happened where John followed his dog for some reason that day. The dog just got out of the fence and crossed over. Just happened to that day. I'm just going to throw that in there. And John followed him. But here's where I have a problem. I got kids. I got grandkids, and I've been around kids all of my life. His brother was 6 years old, number one. John was 4, almost 5. His brother was 6. Normally, if one follows a dog or chases, the other one's either going to go after the kid, or they're going to go with the dog and the kid. You've been a kid yourself, you should know that. Well, I don't know. Some of you ain't had good lives, because if you did, you wouldn't be in here acting stupid. But, Hey, Daniel. Hello. Good evening. So that was one of the things. And then another thing is, why was he was only, reported, if that's true, by the grandfather, it don't matter. They said that the 6-year-old allegedly went in there, told him that this is what they said, allegedly. that the 6-year-old went in the house, told the dad that John and Buck got out the fence. Well, yes, kids can run miles. They can go. But here's where I have a problem with that. Think about this. If you have a small child and they're out there in the yard and another child comes in and says, oh, him and the dog's gone, they just went over the fence. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Of course, you're going to go out that door, mom, dad, granddad, I don't care. You're going to go out that door and you're going to start screaming and you're going to run after them. And probably more than likely 99.9999999%, you're going to catch them or you're going to find them, and the police don't even have to be involved. So I have a huge problem with that. If you don't like my huge problem, oh well. Because at the very least, it's neglect. First of all, the other problem I have, it was neglectful to let Buck the dog out in the yard with all of those explosives. Much less have little kids 4 and 6 years old out there playing in the yard with a bunch of explosives, and some of them look like damn cigarettes. Are you serious right now? So yeah, I have a problem, but that's not for me to work out because I don't know. Accidents do happen, and I also know, yes, hell yes, kids can get out and run. You've probably lost yours in Walmart before under the clothes, and it took you 15 minutes to find them, but you found them, didn't you? Just saying. It's sad. He should have never, look, I know fathers and mothers who have split custody, joint custody, whatever, and the other party has said nope, they're not doing it. Listen, if you're on the drugs, you ain't gonna feel like taking care of the kids. I don't care if it's 5 days a year. I don't care if it's 2 days a year. And at that point, to me, he didn't care nothing except for the drugs. Whatever else he had going on, I don't know. But he could have denied visitation at that time with the mom. You know, it ain't like he's this upstanding, abiding by the court rules citizen. You know. But some Class A felonies in Alabama is the most serious felonies there is. And they take it very serious over there. You get decades in prison. You know, you have over in Alabama, they got a really wide range of sentencing power over there. And they use it. So, you know, you've heard some people like to just make an example. But he knew better than to do any of that, even if he didn't do anything to his son. But now FBI's in, so at federal level, if they choose to federal level him, that's going to be real disturbing because he was distributing or he was making explosive devices. I don't know if he was distributing them though or not. He had them all in his house. What was they for? Why do you need so many devices? Why do you need your house baby trapped like that? But it's a crime. It's a crime under the U.S. Constitution. It's a crime. Penalties can also range up, depending on what it is, to 10 years, 20 years, or more in prison. Up to 20 years for teaching or demonstrating how to make them. Any explosives. That's a huge felony over there. It is. It is. And they will use that. I don't think the dad's going anywhere anytime soon. I could be wrong. But federal charges can be harsher than state charges if federal jurisdiction applies. Did they? I don't know. Let me read this disclaimer again. Any discussion of criminal statutes, potential penalties, is based publicly, y'all, if you do your research, and is available under the law. It does not imply guilt. Ignorance, maybe, but not guilt. It don't prove guilt or innocence. And it don't prove future charges for any individual. Not in Alabama or anywhere. Just saying. But in Alabama, what methamphetamine charges can carry under their law is different everywhere else. And what someone might face there for that depends on what the charge is. It depends on how they're going to treat that math charge. But they treat it very seriously. They treat it very seriously everywhere. That one drug they always treat very seriously. Here, let them know you're doing it and let them know you got kids. Your kids is going out of the house, whether them kids are perfectly fine and look beautiful. It don't matter. Gone. Bye. Simple possession of meth is a Class D felony. It can carry 1 to 5 years in prison. It can carry fines, $7,500 or more. Sometimes, I don't think with this, but sometimes it can carry probation on a first offense. But that's not even guaranteed. But possession with intent to distribute, that's a Class B. And you can get up to 2 years to 20 years in prison. You can get $30,000, $40,000 fines. It depends on what the prosecutors want to do. It depends on what you have as far as quantity, your packaging, did they find scales? Did they find money with it? Or if you have a prior record. Probably all of that applies to Jameson. Jameson is the father's name. So it's not going to be good for him no matter which way he looks at it or anybody else looks at it for him. Manufacturing or having a lab, oh, that's a whole nother story, honey. That's where penalties get very stiff. Can be a Class A, Class B felony. It depends on the facts. I ain't talking about Smiley's facts. I'm talking about the law facts. And it can carry 10 to 99 years. Heavy fines if children were present as well. He had 2 kids present. And also, if it occurs in your home or in a vehicle, bad news. Well, it was on his property. He had the inside and outside of his house booby-trapped. Chemicals, explosives, all that was involved. We know 2 children was there, at least at one point. And it involved those things. So he's in a lot of trouble, in my opinion. Even if he didn't hurt his son, he's in a lot of trouble. But what I will say, factually, and I don't need a law, and I don't need a lawyer, and I don't need a policeman to tell me. I don't need CPS. He did neglect his kids while they were in his care and endangered them both, in my opinion. That's a fact. Now, we'll move on from that. The news still said they were having the prayer vigil because they were going to have one anyway. They've already been started probably an hour and a half there. They were going to have it at the church at 7 o'clock. Supposedly many different churches was coming together, and they wanted to pray for the mom. They wanted to show the family and the mom their support. And they were, and still are probably there, and they were going to take up money for the mom as well. She may not be prepared for any of this. Isn't it awful to even think about having to bury your child? We don't know if she had any insurance or anything. So I hope if anything comes up or anybody's there, they can help this lady. Show your love, show your support, but be respectful. Don't go to the people's property. Don't do that. Don't harass anyone. But show the mom, show the world, show the little brother or the big brother that the world is heartbroken and we all care. We all care whether we can be there or not. And we are so, so sorry. For those coming in just now in my live, it's very deep, deep sadness that the body of this 4-year-old little boy, Jonathan Everett Boyles, was found unalive today over in a ditch in a ravine 2 miles from his house. His dog Buck, his lab up there, was still sitting with him. He did not leave him. Overnight, during the day, he sat there with him. If that don't grab your heart, I don't know. You just don't have a heart. I told y'all, though, early on, labs are good dogs. Good dogs. The community is encouraged to be respectful by the police to the family as well. And they say during this time of the investigation, it is still under investigation and it's still ongoing. And that's what the Walker County Sheriff's Office said. And they said, if you have any information, to call the Walker County Sheriff's Office at 205-384-7218 for any relevant information. So they do say that the investigation is ongoing. Now, when I looked up him a while ago, they're showing, now yesterday I called when this first came out to see if he was arrested, and he was. I called the Walker County Jail. So today on VineLink, it's showing him in Blount County Jail. I posted all that. Did they move him, or is that the same? Anybody there? Like, is that the same area? Just, I mean, it's 2 different counties. But unless, when I called yesterday, and it was recorded, it was put out, unless all this was going on and they knew exactly, just who I was talking about and did answer my question for me. Because I'm sure all police knew. But anyway, I'm signed up for information to find out if he gets moved again or gets moved or anything comes up. Although sometimes those apps are slow. Just saying. But they do say this investigation is ongoing. They do say that. For those just coming in, let's watch this. Give me just a second here.
I'm going to start by showing you new WBRC drone video of the home and part of the area where Jonathan Boley was last seen. Sheriff Nick Smith thanking the hundreds of people who have been looking for Boley. Now, your Brady Talbert has been following the story. He joins us live from the scene. And we know that the sheriff is now asking for prayers for the family as this situation unfolds in a way that nobody wanted, Brady.
This is a really terrible situation, and it's one that the family members here, volunteers and first responders never wanted to hear, but they are relieved tonight and thankful that it was at least a successful search. Walker County Sheriff Nick Smith saying 4-year-old Jonathan Boley's body was found about 2 miles from the home he went missing from. In addition to trying to find him, volunteers have been looking for his dog, Buck, who could help them find the boy. We now know Buck was found alive beside Jonathan. The sheriff commending the hundreds of volunteers over the last couple of days for their help searching for him. We know there have been boots on the ground, helicopters, and thermal drones at play here. He says this situation is sad all the way around.
We're just devastated by this news. Jonathan was an adventurous boy, and he loved the outdoors. I ask you to be respectful to the family. This is going to be a very hard time.
So there's a lot of emotions in this. There's a lot of challenges that come with, why did this happen? How did this happen? Where's God in all of this? And so what we want to do is reaffirm who God is.
And right there, you just heard from the senior pastor here at Cornerstone Assembly of God, which does plan to hold a prayer vigil tonight for this grieving family and this grieving community. That's going to be at 7 o'clock here at the church. You're a reporter live tonight in Walker County. I'm Brady Talbert, WBRC 6 News, on your side.
Brady, thank you. And we are also learning more today about the charges Jonathan Boley's father, Jamison Kyle Boley, is facing today. According to court records, Boley is charged with 2 counts of chemical endangerment to a child and 1 count of unlawful manufacturing of a destructive device. Sheriff Nick Smith saying he cannot comment on those charges today. And again, there is a prayer vigil tonight for Jonathan's family. We will be there, and we're on your side, keeping you up to date on this heartbreaking story here on WBRC, as well as on the WBRC.
So, again, I'll say it again. I also feel sorry for that cop. And, he's been good to come out and give reports and all that. Not sure how to work this, but loves your welcomes. But I hope, thank you for being here, honey. But I hope and I pray that, the sheriff can get some rest tonight. I know his work is just probably starting. And you don't hear me say that a lot about the cops. But he's been on it. And you can tell it's really wore on him and, the others there. And all of that. So it's really sad. I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad they found him. I'm glad they found him today. I wish he would have been alive right there with the dog, just crying, wanting his mommy. Happy to see his mom, that she was there. But that was not the case. That wasn't the case at all. He was found unalive, and I don't know what happened, but based on public records, there's no court date yet set on Jameson, the father, for any of these charges yet. None that I've seen. There may be now, but none that I've seen. The 10 o'clock news will come on. They'll probably update before I wake up in the morning. There's no telling what will happen, to be honest with you. But the court scheduling depends on also the filings. Today's Friday. It's the weekend. It depends on the filings. It depends on who's got jurisdiction, who, is the FBI going to take over? At least there, they don't seem like they have no ego. Thank God. But in Alabama, first appearances, let me tell y'all something. In Alabama, so because some little places in Tennessee are like this too, not in big Nashville and all that. Tennessee's a big state, y'all. But anyway, in Alabama, first appearances can take anywhere from days to weeks. Days to weeks to even get a first appearance. How in the hell? First of all, you need to stay out of jail. But how would you like to be in jail and can't see a judge for weeks? It's unheard of, but it's true. In Alabama, sometimes it depends on the custody status. It depends on what charges are filed, what the bond conditions are. Sometimes when you go in, you have a bond before you even see the judge. All that makes a difference. But see, the meth charge already exists, so that's going to make it hard. That's going to be a problem. If it existed before all of this and he had one before all this, he's going to go for an arraignment date or some kind of status hearing. If new charges are filed related to John, the court dates, he may not appear immediately. And those records might even be sealed because of, first, the integrity of the case, and second, because John's a minor, and thirdly, his brother was a minor, and it involves his brother now at this point. I hope they don't terrorize his brother. I hope whatever they do have people to help with kids like that. But I hope to God that they just get it on videotape or something like that. And if it's something bad or nefarious. Now, we don't know. He could have just wandered off and froze to death. It was mighty cold and mighty windy here in Florida a few days ago. I mean, cold. Honey, I'm in the redneck Riviera right here. I ain't down far south. So if it was cold here, it was cold in Alabama. You better believe that. So, yeah, he could have very well walked away and, it could be just innocent. But again, his brother, hold on, let's see what this is coming up. Hold on. This is something else. Hold on.
In Alabama, coming to a close after his body was found in Walker County, northwest of Birmingham. The remains of Jonathan Boley were found. Boley and his dog Buck were last seen walking away into the woods from his father's property. Deputies found Boley's dog alive next to his body. Since Boley's disappearance, his father, Jameson, has been arrested and charged with previous warrants of chemical endangerment and unlawful manufacturing of a destructive device. At this time, the investigation is still ongoing.
Okay, so yeah, at that time, that just popped up on my phone, but the investigation, of course, is still ongoing. So wasn't like, hey, we just found your son, so sorry. You can go now. No. Additional charges are possible. Anything's possible. It also depends on the DA, whether it has to do with Jonathan or not. I think it still has all ties into Jonathan. He should have been watching him. He shouldn't have been so neglectful. That's just my opinion. But again, my opinions sometimes get a little carried away, even though they might be true. It don't matter what Smiley thinks. It don't matter what I think. Nobody's going to get convicted on what I think. But if he had a lab too, make him mad. Oh my God, he's in so much more trouble than you can already imagine. He may spend the rest of his life in there anyway. But please be kind and be respectful. I'll continue to share. I'll continue to try to find out. I want y'all to please put, oh, thank you, Kelly. I want you to please put hearts. I don't know what his favorite color was, but put blue hearts till we hear different, till his mom says. His mom's probably beside herself and wrecked right now. She probably don't even know up from down, left to right. Honestly, I wouldn't. But y'all put hearts in here. Put praying hands. And stop before you go to bed tonight and pray for this baby. I am making a playlist for him. I've got some things in there. Some things y'all may watch, some things you don't. But I got his playlist going on my playlist section. But I haven't finished it. Usually when I make a playlist, I do for these kids, I make them so we can all go back and look maybe or find stuff easier. A lot of times, sometimes things are in there twice, but it's okay. I'll download them and I'll put them in there. And this is just the 2nd of January. I was fixing to say July, 2nd of January. And I just hope that 2026 is a better year for not just me, not just you, but for these children, for these families. I hope and I pray that all the children are found. Sebastian, bring him home. Bring him home. Summer, she deserves grace and dignity. Michael, I just hope this is a good year. There's too many to sit here and name. You know, I want to always honor these kids. I want to honor Jonathan. I want us to, a lot of people don't believe in it. I want us to believe this dog is a hero right here. This dog could have left him out there in the cold by himself. Yeah, bring Sebastian home. Bring him home. They know who has the key to this. Bring Sebastian home. Where is Sebastian? It's been a long day. It's been a long day. And I just don't want to forget. I can't forget. I know I can't forget. I don't know about y'all. I don't even know if that's the right word or not. Summer, that's right. Purple hearts. Let's see what Jenna say. It was court ordered, and Reba, I still don't understand. Okay. So it's come out that I guess there was some DV, and probably, I'm not going to say maybe the meth use. Who knows? He was ex-military. A lot of them records could be sealed, but obviously he was not a choir boy. I'm just going to put it like that. She had orders against him and stuff. I think she just moved to Florida like within the last year. But anyhow, whatever it was bad enough that the judge only gave him 5 days a year visiting. 5 days a year. Yeah, that dog never left his side. Never left his side. That was the not only amazing part, but the heartbreaking part as well. People think dogs don't have feelings. They think they don't know. I say bull. I know. I love dogs. I'm telling you, they know. Me too, Garrett. Me and you would get along real well. If you don't like my dog or my dogs, just stay the hell away from me and my house. It's fine. I know Happy's going to go with me everywhere. She going to go up in the hotels. And they ain't going to say no. She going to ride. She going to sit. Y'all have pictures of her. She going to sit on the bench with me. And I'll give her part of my hamburger. I don't care. If you don't like it, get lost. I don't care. I don't care about you and your ugliness. But I'm telling you, this dog right here, and listen, I hate to say it like this. We don't know how long he was out there. We don't know how much joy that this dog brought him, maybe, and even if it wasn't nothing nefarious, in his time of need. That's sad. It's sad. Yeah, they do have, absolutely. I know for a fact. Me too. I know for a fact. Honey, I'll be on the phone talking to somebody and they'll be like, you talking to your dog? Yep, I'll be back in a minute, so-and-so, I'll be back. I don't care. Think I'm crazy. I am crazy. You want to try me? I'm crazy. You got it on internet now. I'm crazy. I don't care. But I want to honor him and I want to honor Buck as well. I think Buck deserves a medal. They need to bring him down there, put a medal around his neck, give him a bling bling collar. That's my opinion. Give him a bling bling collar. He was a good dog. And I do. I don't know. You know, I was thinking about it on both hands. His mom, everybody I've seen in different chats and stuff, like, I hope he gets a good home. I hope he gets home. I hope he gets a good home too. But my first choice would be, I hope that the mother takes him. Then I got thinking about it. That would be hard on her too. But she may want him because of what he helped do for her baby. But it could be hard emotionally. But I think it's almost like my mom said. I think if you don't take them, it's possible you'll have regrets. And I mean, I don't know. See, it's hard. If something like this happens, especially to your child, they say don't make any major decisions. But it sure don't need to be anywhere near that person or his house or anything like that. I'm sorry. And any 5 days that any other children or child has, 1 day, 2 day, 2 hours, yeah. Even if he didn't do anything nefarious, I think it's kind of just not safe to be around emotionally for the other kids. I hope they strip him of that. That's just me. And then they can make their own choices when they get bigger. But that's just me. I don't know. I'm just the one to say that. But I think there's going to be more coming out. And I think we'll see it. I'm going to play this song out. And They might make me take it off. I want to play this one. I've been dying to play it again. That wasn't the right word, but I've been wanting to play it again. And I'm going to play it out on the end. But I love y'all. I thank you for being here. Please hit them thumbs up. And let's grow this channel together. And if you think I distract whoever just come in here, don't come in here then. Why are you here? Because you're not going to upset me. I don't care. I care about these kids, and you will not shut me up. Not today, not tomorrow, not any other day. So everybody hit that thumbs up, and I love y'all, and we're going to play it. Thank you all. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Have a good night, and I'll see you out in the streets. YouTube streets, that is. Rest in peace, little man. Rest in peace.